All right, we finally got one that is actually about the topic that I specialize in, which is stress and anxiety. Here we go. This is exciting to me. So this person says that they've been dealing with complex PTSD and freeze responses. This person says that they've had a lot of really good therapy, but a sticking point seems to be developed neuropathways that respond automatically before they are even aware of any fear. Anytime I start to feel good, my defense mechanism kicks in. I go into freeze, or what I call avoidance, which is, yes, that's exactly right. That's what usually happens. Part of me thinks I'm undeserving and bad things will happen if I get something I don't deserve. This has been happening to me for a very long time now, and it's almost constant. I need some way of being aware in the moment, or any other idea you might have. I don't know if this is something you can help with, but doesn't hurt to ask. Thank you for your consideration. So for this person, thank you so much for sending this, because you showcased exactly what so many people experience. Now, I'm not a licensed therapist, so I would never say, okay, I'm going to work with your diagnosis of PTSD unless I had a therapist referral. But I can give you a lot of insight about the other parts and components that you mentioned. I would say you have an overactive nervous system, and one of the ways to calm the nervous system is through what we call vagal response stimulation, which stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. So many people, when I start working with them, I teach them how to relax the nervous system and stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system by activating the vagus nerve. And there are different body ways to do this, different ways of breathing and stimulating the body and going back and forth between both hemispheres of the brain using different types of bilateral stimulation and all that jazz. I know I said a lot of fancy language, but I'll get to the point. A lot of people do that only when they're feeling stressed, anxious, or feeling uncomfortable. But we want to really lower the baseline. So what I recommend to people is this, what we call the 3x3. Take 3 minutes, 3 times a day, to practice one of these nervous system response exercises, so that way you're not stuck in fight, flight, or freeze. And over the course of about 2 to 3 weeks, you'll notice your baseline lowering down, and overall you'll feel less physical tension and less mental effects of that tension. Simultaneously, we also want to work with the subconscious part of your mind. You said there's a part of me that feels this way, which tells me there are 2 parts that are in conflict. There's a part of you that feels non-deserving, and then there's the other part that wants you to get better. And those 2 parts, they're not playing well together in the sandbox. They're actually in conflict. So we would use a subconscious process that is called parts integration, where we would actually have those 2 parts. We would thank each one, because believe it or not, they are both trying to serve a greater purpose for you. We would thank those parts for trying to help you out. We'd send love and compassion to those parts, and we would mediate the differences, negotiate the differences between those parts, and we'd bring those 2 parts together so they start working together and they form an alliance for you and with you instead of against you. I know this is a lot. This is a lot that I'm saying. I got to keep these videos under 5 minutes, or else I can't send them. So, my plan for you is we would do parts integration, we would do a lot of the nervous system stimulation work, and we'd also do some identity work, because you have seemed to take on the identity of an anxious person with this label of PTSD, and we want to shift you out of that identity and into an identity of being more capable, able, and deserving. If this is something you would like my help with, just reach out and let me know. You can send me a message through Instagram, or you can even fill out an application. Just let me know that you'd like it, and I can send you the details about my program to see if you want to take the deeper dive in to work with me through that program. I have a lot of people in my collective right now that are actually, or have been, struggling with exactly the same thing that you're struggling with, so I want you to know you are not alone, my friend. I hope this helps. As always, be well, do good, be true to who you are, and happy healing.